Good morning, everybody. Happy new month, June 2nd. Wow, we made it to a new month, and it wasn't that bad of a May after all. It was not a sell in May, go away. So is it a June?
No, it was like,
What rhymes with June now? I don't know.
Cancun,
Oh
so
yes,
you can go to Cancun. I think it
yeah.
was
Oh, those
Fozzie
Farms. Farms
or Consummate.
bankrupted my
Oh,
family.
Bitfarms. Oh, that was a great one. I love that one. I'm
Yeah.
glad you remembered. Bitfarms, bankrupted my family is pretty hilarious. So good morning,
But yeah, let's.
everybody. Matt, go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just gonna switch to you because I wanted to talk about the VIX first to see what you see on there before we go into the indices.
All right, here's my VIX chart, and as you may have seen before, I can lines, these points based on my own experience in the markets. As you can see, April 7th is absolute panic. I think the last time we went over it was the August 5th carry trade in 2024, and we just had another bounce of that in April 7th. So yeah, I mean things were going really good all the way right through, gosh, after the August carry trade, right through the end of the year. Then it kind of spiked up in December, and that's when I should have gotten out. But I just said, maybe everything will be fine. But no, then we got it was rough all the way. It culminated in the 7th, but now you can see how far we've come. Just right back down here through fear, and then back to greed. We had a little spike into fear on the 23rd, but we're still in greed. And Matt wanted to see what I saw on this, and I kind of feel like these are 4-hour candlesticks. Let me do it at 8-hour candlesticks. Maybe it'll just look a little less crazy. I kind of feel like it's doing this sort of weak, bullish. Well, it's a bearish wedge up, and then it drops some more. But when the VIX goes down, that's good for stocks. So I kind of want to say it 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 just kind of follows this 8-hour Ichimoku cloud here. It kind of gets back up in the pocket maybe, and then drops down, or maybe it's done even, because a lot of stuff is already at their supports. They're like support to the hilt. So maybe we're done with this, and it's time to come on back down to the towards the take profits line. That's what I'd like to see. An opportunity to take profits, and then once we that line, we go back to fear it again, and then that'll give us a nice opportunity. This would be like a third wave, fourth wave. And I'm thinking, actually, this is a little extreme. I think it'll be nice all the way through July, August, and then maybe like this is spooky October. I don't know. It's hard to be sure, because maybe we'll have enough time to get extreme greed. Just let's see. If I go to the 1-hour chart, if you just want to, it could go. It's stuck under the. I mean, it's nicely stuck under the moving average 75 here. So maybe it doesn't go any higher than 1983. We had some wick ups. Maybe at the open, it wicks up again to 2037, but then gets back down again. I don't know. That's all I see. I'm looking for prices to go up today after just a little scary opening here. All right, Matt, how about take us through the indices?
All right, let's continue on here, and let me switch my screen. So, what do we see for the week? Well, we see the same range, and could it come back down and finally go to the cloud, go to the 50-week moving average, close the gap? Maybe, possibly, right? It's definitely on the table, but it's never a guarantee, especially when you just like look at that gap without any indicators. It's a very obvious gap, and like that's basically what everybody's expecting. So if everybody's expecting that kind of trade, then usually I'm like, maybe it's not going to happen, and I just don't even think about it anymore. So we'll see if it does happen. Either way, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't change my bullish outlook for the future. And all I really care about is the trend here. And the trend is basically it's above all the indices or above all the averages. It's above all the indicators on the Ichimoku cloud. It's 100% bullish, right? So this is good, whether or not it wants to retrace a little bit first. So that's all I care about. Stay above the cloud, stay above everything else, and this will trend higher over time. QQQ, same situation. Very, very obvious gap there as well. Could it go back down there? Sure, why not? But right now, it's kind of in the middle of a range still. It's getting closer to all this previous resistance of the all-time highs. So, of course, the closer it gets to that, then the more selling pressure there's going to be. So it could just be range bound for some time, maybe even retest the 504, or even go back to this 497 log based fib down here and retest that as well. So that is a possibility. So if that VIX does spike a little bit, we could see some retracement, but it does not change the bullish thesis of things just continuing the trend towards all-time highs. I think that's where the QQQ is headed. And we could get a retrace first, but it doesn't matter to me. But just be prepared here because we are in the middle of a range. So price could be volatile, could go any direction, could go up, could go down. So we just got to take it 1 day, 1 week at a time while still maintaining support. IWM, same situation that is trying to hold support. This one already did close the gap though. So right here, this big gap that was closed 2 weeks ago, or was it? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And we can see that it's still holding the 100-week moving average and the 205.11. And this is good, right? This is something that it's really trying to build a base on and just continue higher. So the baseline right up here at 207.20 is the resistance. It's been kind of stuck under there for a couple of weeks. So it's really in a tight range here. And technically, it never even went back down to the 200. So 198.51. It could do that still, but this is also just the same range as it's been before. So there's nothing concerning. And it looks like it's trying to just build a base at a higher level. So things are looking fine, whether or not they need to retrace. And I still maintain a very bullish outlook on the future here for everything. And just wanted to jump into Bitcoin over here. And Bitcoin did start to go below the green level of my GAN here. But you know what? It's basically just still closing candles above it, right? Last week, yesterday, it did close above it. And what do you know? A new week started and they wanted to get another wick down below it. So it is still very, very bullish, right? We can see that all these previous wicks to the top were a bunch of resistance. Now all the wicks to the bottom are looking like support. So this is the exact opposite of what we saw back in January and December. Literally the exact opposite. The bodies of the candle are spending more time on top and the wicks on the bottom, and the exact opposite here. So this is a bullish thing. Also, if you put on that fib, right, there was that previous cycle fib that I had on before for the 102, right, the 102.076 over here. But the log scale version of that, that's changes everything. Log scale is still 103.611. And you know what? When you zoom in on that fib right here, we can see that it basically is still riding it as a support as well, which in the past, it was always a resistance. So there is really nothing bearish, in my opinion, about Bitcoin. It's consolidating at a higher level. It's building a nice foundation right now. So I'm going to keep monitoring that zone, the 105 down to technically this 102.076, right? That's the linear scale support. So this is a perfectly healthy chart.
Hooray. Let's
All right.
see. Oh, one last thing I should show on the VIX. I always forget to look at, with my Mattsby eyes. Here's a weekly chart, right? It's a much larger scale. And one thing I think about is, well, here's the Ichimoku cloud, right? So it could still come up right here to fear, and then get pushed back down again. And then I kind of think about the conversion of baselines based on the baselines based on 26 bars look back and the conversion line based on 9 bars look back. So once we get like off of this week of the April 7th rundown, it'll drop the conversion line pretty quickly. And so that's the week of that's the week of June 16th. So halfway through the month, the conversion line will start to die back down. And it's going to take a little while. It's weird. I guess the correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but the baseline is actually going to go. No, I guess it's stuck between here and here, isn't it? Right now, it's averaging between here and here. So once we get past this, then the baseline will start to come down or a mean reversion down this way. And that's not until the week of October 13th. So anyway, watch if you have a VIX chart and you can pull up Ichimoku on a weekly, you can kind of watch them. Don't go back to fear, but there it is. That's a possibility. I want to show. I want to show all my charts. Here's my here's Bitcoin chart. Yeah, I think we're just sort of oscillating here a little bit. This 100% fib extension is sort of this important level that we're kind of moving over and under, oscillating around. But over Matt's support, I think we'll be headed for 143,931 next. I don't know if it'll stick out or if it'll be like stay inside this channel. But I'm right now. We'll just keep it like that. And then my XRP chart. Yay, live to be happy. I love this little art piece here. But yeah, I'm still tracking from this wave 1, wave 2. We hit the 764 extension, and then it came all the way back to the 11.4, which just means it's probably it's pulled the rubber band back even farther. But still, if it goes to the 1382, that's 311 for XRP. If it goes like to the 2618, then it's more like 6 or so. But yeah, but this is just 5 impulsive waves based on this price action. If it does do, Matt, this is the log scale. So this is actually Matt's old XRP chart, where August vertical line is, and this could go to 836. It's kind of where this touches this Gann arc. So that's what I'm looking for, and which is why I have a lot of XXRP. My cost is I bought a little bit too much, maybe at 31.49. Now it's down to 27.98, but I'm looking for it to. This is not based on the big move of XRP to 837. This is just based on it going to 386. So this could be 386, and then it could just be nuts after that. My plan is XRP, maybe buy this wave 3 here, get out with most of my profit, but then just leave some in that just like rides for free and then does the crazy part. Anyway, XXRP, I've got like $100,000 in it right now. Let's see what it does. All right. Oh, I'll real quick. I know. All right. So here's the Tesla chart. Just posting for everybody that basically, despite the oscillation we're in here, it's just a bump in the road till we get to either 509.71 for the wave 1, based on from the 101 low to the 488.50. I'm sorry, 101 low, the 488.54 high, and then back to the 214.25 low, higher low. That's the 509.71. Or if you take it from the beginning of time, like it's $11.80 to the 488 to the 214, then it gives us 578.48. And I was saying, the amount of resistance we've been getting around 361.98, it kind of makes me feel like the purple line is what we're getting right now. But anyway, and then closer up, Tesla. Like I said, I've been posting this too. I think we're where is it on this chart? Yeah, Tesla could be megaphoning, and the megaphone pattern is sort of a broadening formation because it was like really nice and even for a while, and now it's just kind of going wild. So I've got all these targets. It went down to 340 this morning, so I don't know. Maybe it'll go back up if it doesn't keep going down. Make a higher high, then a lower low, then a higher high and a lower low. It could go nuts and just make everyone freak out and just like not want to trade Tesla anymore like me. But what I have been doing is I've been DCAing into longer dated calls for Tesla. So just one thing to think about. TSL with all this chop hard. You could get in, if it gets to 305.52, that's where my ideal baseline or support is. So you could buy TSL then, but until then, look out. It could go all over the place. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yeah, I was going to do some requests, but I just wanted to show my Tesla chart that I've been talking about. And my weekly update, I basically pointed out all all the stuff that happened. So it didn't close above any resistance at all last Friday. So I
Mhm.
pointed that out, and I'm like, be prepared for some more pain because of that. And sure enough, like it closed below the 886, it closed below the green arc, it closed below the Ichimoku baseline here at 351. It closed below my orange level of my linear scale again. It also closed below the 786 at 347.58 on linear scale as well. So every single indicator on linear and log scale, it closed below that I was looking at. So that kind of indicates, I might want to go a little bit lower. How low will I want to go? Well, maybe a back test of this 321, maybe close this gap right here. I don't know, right? We can see that there is a potential to just go back down before it really wants to break free. And that usually is the case because sometimes it doesn't just break through the first time, right? It doesn't break through the resistance on the first touch. So we might get a little bit of consolidation first, down first, before breaking through. But this is a normal process in a bullish structure as well. And it's just volatile. It's just it's a volatile name, Tesla. And if you want to play the cycles, that's what I do. It's just ride it out to enjoy the big gains. And trading in and out can be a little bit more tricky, but this one was kind of a little bit obvious here because it was a huge resistance zone that I've actually been talking about for a couple of weeks now. And sure enough, it got rejected. And I love how they kept it around like 360s almost all day on Friday. And then they just sent it
I
lower.
know.
They just like, ah,
So
get you guys to
mean.
buy, and then they just sent it lower. Yeah, I mean, you see that all the
So
time.
mean.
You see that all the time where the market makers they try to like tease you it's going to break out, but it doesn't break out, and usually because that's the first touch. This is like the first touch it hit that zone. So this is why I remained cautious that whole time, and now I'm expecting a little bit lower, but it doesn't really change any of the high time frame stuff for me because I think eventually, it's just going to go down a little bit, and then it's going to eventually break out and go back towards all time highs, break my green GAN level, and go higher and higher. So in the long term, fine. Short term, just expect a little bit of a pain, I guess. And we are seeing that pre market. And let's get to some Bitdeer, I see. BTDR. And Bitdeer also got rejected. So we got a 1475. This is the previous 2023 high back here. And it failed to really maintain that. Failed to maintain
That's
that.
my
So we
deer.
could see that. What's that?
That's my deer call. Mwah, mwah.
Fair enough. And we can see that possibility of going back down to this 886 1219 is there. There's also the conversion line down below at 1154. So we're probably looking for a back test as well, simply because it had a pretty big bounce from the 618. Pretty good 4 weeks in a row. Boom, 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 boom. And then just a couple weeks of consolidation. So maybe a little bit more down before it can break that resistance above. But Bitdeer, it seems fine to me. Just a little lower first.
Yeah, that's a good looking chart.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, so you guys heard the crow, right, a minute ago? That was the sound of Oklo dropping through my 61.8% retrace here. Go get your screenshots ready or just jot down Oklo to 37.88. That's another, it was 24% lower a second ago. Now it's another 22% lower to get to 37.88. And then I project it's 5 for the heart of the wave 3 here. That's 141% higher from 37.88. There you go. Just a quick tip from me to you. Oklo looks really good to buy there. APP. I just did APP this morning. Put it on my subscriber. I've been updating my spreadsheet again, so it's coming back to life, guys. If you were a subscriber before and then like got disillusioned as I got disillusioned in the first quarter of this year, I'm back, baby, and I'm fixing up my spreadsheet. So come on back and subscribe to me. Here's APP. I've got it going to. It's not the same one I had earlier. Yeah, yeah, it is. Okay. So let's see. It seems like it wants to go to the 618 at least next. So that's 479.15 is the next target. Be another 22% higher from where it is right now. Then if the 618 is resistance, it'll send it back down to 375 right here. If it does go higher than 479, then the 764 at 547.34 would be the target. And then the 382 would be support down at 368.94. So I'm sort of stuck between the two. It's either it fails to make a new higher high, or it does make a slightly higher high, then backtest the whole thing. That's kind of how that goes. Um, yeah. So there you go. And then from to the 1382 would be about here. That's about 130% higher. There you go. That's my APP from here. And then I could do my EOS chart. EOS, after they fired their CFO and diluted their stock, it did go a bit lower than I was expecting. I was hoping for a 764,382. It never quite reached the 764, so I was looking for the 236 at 449, and it actually went 8 hours. I said 376 was possible to go all the way to 11.4. It hasn't done that. It doesn't have to do that. The bottom could be in for EOS. I actually bought in ahead of the 23.6. This is my position, 10,000 shares at $4.80. But overall, I'm looking for, from where price is right now at 417 in pre-market, another 174% higher to reach $11.40. Possibly, actually, let's go more probably. Let's say actually 1052 next, just because it went lower below the 236. So 1052 next, not 1150, not 1140. It's so dynamic, right? And then that would put support at 768. Oh, which is where I had it before. All right, there you go. EOS from here. And look at the MCDX. Or MCDX is fine. I meant the RSI is super low. It's like it's oversold. All right. Do you want me to do ASTS, Matt?
Yeah. Do we do app 11? APP?
Did APP a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You
I
want
just
to
wanted to
see
show my
APP?
chart real quick. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
Let me
please.
just wanted to just a real quick view of it because it did break above the baseline last week, and that's what I was waiting for app 11. And yeah, so something that I was cautious on down here at all this support, it turns out it was just like a symmetrical support, and being back above all this symmetry and all of this Ichimoku and everything here, it really indicates that it's probably going to go back towards all-time highs, right? But like I warned before, I think it might be a struggle to break through this zone. So again, the closer it gets back up to 480, 490, 500, I got to be a little bit cautious until it can really definitively break free. So now that it is back above all the indicators, I'll be looking at 362 for a support, the baseline right there on the weekly chart. And when we look at it, even at the monthly chart too, a really nice bullish close, right? It closed back above the conversion line as well. So this chart is really 100% bullish, and it was the highest monthly candle close ever for it. So it is a nice looking chart. But just because I see all this resistance right up here with my arc, the GAN level, both the arcs and the 1.618, I got to remain cautious because it hit the GAN level perfectly last time as a resistance. So I just don't know if it's going to break free the first time. And if it gets there, it might come down and consolidate a little bit longer before breaking free. But it does look like it finally wants to continue the trend higher, though. So cannot be bearish on a chart that looks like this. So 362, watch that as support. So
Yeah,
go ahead
Apple
with your
actually did
chart.
its all-time high was back in February of 2025 when it struck 525.15.
Yeah. But yeah, the monthly candle though was the highest monthly candle close ever though. So that was pretty nice to see.
What? Oh! I wasn't looking at your
Yeah.
screen. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, the monthly.
It's so funny
Yeah,
that
there's
that
no
it
body
picks up the monthly
of the candle
candle.
close that high. Yeah.
Nobody. Let's see,
All right, go
ASTS,
ahead.
Space Mobile. I love to say Space Mobile, even though it's Space Mobile. All right, so what I'm looking for, here's my 1, 2, wave 3, sub 1, the 618 perhaps next, 4121. Doesn't, let's see. Should I do the 382 first? Let's do, I obviously haven't looked at this chart lately. Let's change this to the 236. All right, let's just be conservative and let's say it goes to the 382 first. So that's 13. And if things get really great, then maybe it'll go higher. But 3216 is where we should look next, and then back to 2655, and then the 123.6, which would be here, 64.92. So just in the immediate, the now, yeah, look for 40% higher to 3216, and it could possibly extend higher, but let's just look for that first. And your ultimate support should be, it shouldn't go any lower than 1140 again. I mean, it could, but it shouldn't. I'm sorry, the 11.4. So that's 2187 would be, you probably don't have to stop out on this, but you could stop out below 2187. So that might just be running on your stops with that. NTX. BioNTech. I've done this one, but I can't remember how long ago it was. Well, the bottom that it put in at 7653 is still the bottom. That's good. This one has a lot of possibility. I did a whole extension setup, but I really should have started with the retrace. So actually, no, let's do it from the back end. So from the all-time low of 1253, the all-time high of, no, come here. Operate. Oh, let's have to do it manually. About 464.19. So yeah, it would do a 382, 236, 618. 382 hasn't gotten there yet. 236. So it'll struggle with 119.12 first. But then I see they kind of want it to go to 764 up here. So look for price to go. I mean, it's not doing anything right now, right? I mean, it's bullish. But yeah, it could go 159%. No, that's the wrong one. Yeah, no, that's right, 382. The A wave should go up here. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. This 382 over here. So 185.06 would be the A wave up. Or if it does a 382.236, that would take it to 248.99 next. So you're either looking at 150% higher to wave 3, or 93%, 94% higher to 185.06 for the 382 A wave. So there you go. Ask me again after we get past either one of those two, and we'll check in on it. I could do AMD, which I think is still the same as it's been. It's still going for 142, isn't it?
Yeah, there's really
Yep,
no change
yep,
in my chart either.
142. Yeah, it hasn't done a lot, but look, it hasn't fallen either. There's a little, I guess there's a weekly gap in there, but it doesn't, it may or may not fill that. I'm looking for 141.98 next, at minimum. It could go higher, but that's the 382 at first, and then if that's the high, then it sends it back to 116.76. So there's AMD, RKLB Rocket Lab. Did I just do this? I feel like I just did this. No, not today. All right, so Rocket Lab, as I said here, it didn't quite make it to 32.26. So it didn't quite make it to the 62618, but it's already heading back. So I expect that support will be here at 2110 at the 236. So this is your place to DCA or buy or whatever you want to do. 2110 next. And then from there, it should go to a minimum of the 123.6 fib, or from 2110, about 130 to 5032. There you go. That's Rocket Lab. And you can see on the MCDX
Yeah,
Plus, they
I
still
got
like it.
some.
Yeah, go ahead. 76% on
Nice.
the weekly MCDX Plus.
All right. Yeah, I got some crypto. I see XLM, HBAR, AVAX. I'll just do those really quickly. So XLM closed the month 3 months in a row now. Boom, boom, boom. Basically right underneath the monthly Ichimoku cloud. So that's the big resistance and why it can't go higher. So is this going to be the month where it can break inside the cloud? Well, if not, maybe next month it will just be, if it goes there horizontally, it can go through time through the cloud, and then that'll be have the ability to break above to the 31, to the 35, to maybe even the 38 cent zone. but it's consolidating nicely on top of the 50% fib. So that really is your higher time frame support for XLM. That looks pretty good, but it's just not ready to break this resistance yet. So of course, more patience is required. Let's look at H bar here on the weekly chart. And it's also looking pretty nice in a consolidation phase too, really maintaining the orange GAN level nicely. Did get back below the weekly conversion line, but it's done that before. So this is fine. We're just trying to consolidate a little bit further. Maybe could come back down to the 16.3, maybe a little bit to the 45-degree angle on the 15s again, but it doesn't really change anything. It's still just a higher low from back in April. And I think just enough time will pass before the consolidations will be finished, and then it'll start to move higher again. So this is a very beautiful chart because it's a massive breakout, and basically it's just finding higher lows now. That's all it's doing. So just give it some time before it can blast off again to the 20s, to the 22 and above. So it's in basically a nice accumulation zone right now. But I know most people don't like to buy accumulation zones because they think it's going lower. But this is a beautiful market symmetry chart, especially this 45-degree angle. Big resistance before, then I flipped to support, then I did a V bottom and breakout back test. And that back test was gorgeous, and the opportunity to find a bottom of H bar. And AVAX, go check out this one here. AVAX is nice, right? It's just in the middle of a range too, but it also found the blue level of my GAN as support in the 16s, and also the 236 was down there too, 1688, and now it's trying to battle the conversion line as a support, and it did close the week yesterday above it, so bullish, right? So now that a weekly chart, weekly candle just opened, of course they're going to send it lower, just like they are with some other charts as well. So they're getting some liquidity below it, but I think it still has the ability to maintain some higher lows here, and it has been doing that. It has been doing that since the bottom. Like all these weekly candles are technically, the wicks are going higher, higher, higher. So I think if that trend continues, it can press up against to the 2553. If you even look at the daily chart too, it's really trying to maintain the daily cloud as a support as well. So this is kind of like a zone that looks like an accumulation zone. When you look at the bottom, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? It's just maintaining that zone. And basically the bottom of the cloud is going to be around 2076, which is right around where that weekly Ichimoku conversion line is as well. So we could start to be bottoming right now, right? Could it come back down to retest the lows? I'm sure it could, right? Anything is possible with crypto. You can never say something is 100% going to happen, but that's still a bullish scenario because on the weekly time frame it would just be like a double bottom before it takes off. So this is a very nice chart. It is just lagging behind a little bit, and I think it's going to be able to go up towards all of this resistance above sooner than later. Maybe 25, maybe the arc above here in the 30s. Tracker.
All right, I've got Ola Lovrak. Perk your ears up because this one is for you. NOD Nordic Semiconductor. I just drew this up. I did a retrace from this significant low here of 2570 back in 2019, I guess the pandemic low, and then up to 319.40 in 2021, and then back to this nice higher low of 76.95 April. Yep, April 7th. So anyway, this is really good here, and the retrace is here's 100% all the way up from the bottom to the top, and then coming back down. It found support between the 11.4 and the 23.6, and I project that it wants to go to let's see, 382.236. What was it? I liked how the 141 like Matt's extensions, the 141 lines up with my wave 3 top here at 123.6. So that's probably definitely going to come true. So anyway, it's a very good looking chart. I can't say for speed. It's not quite as fast a chart as I like, but 55% higher to the wave 1 top, the minimum at least the 382 at 189.20. And then to get to the wave 3 top, which is also I duplicate this, the 141 retrace is about 264% higher where price is right now. So yeah, NOD looks great. It's below the wave. My wave 2 support should be 630 after it gets over it. So we're below that. It's a great place to add it, buy it, whatever you want to do. But it just might take see from here to here. It might not reach this wave 5 top until like February of 2033. Anyway, there you go. Oh gosh, so many requests. You know what? Before I take another request, let me just show you something I kind of was excited about. I told Matt about this DFDV DeFi Development Corporation. It's this company in Boca Raton that did like mortgages and stuff for, I guess, commercial rentals, apartment rentals. But now they got into Solana, so now they're doing the strategy play, but with Solana. Anyway, that's why it went crazy up to 53.88 from like being just under $10 before. And I'm looking for this pattern now, where it's sort of like it is an ABC back up to 36.23, and it's down here at 18.50 right now. So anyway, DFDV, this is you can obviously you can take a screenshot of it now if you want, but I've got dozens of charts like these now, that I'm updating in the spreadsheet again. DHI, do I have that one? Oh, DR Horton. Way back in the day, I actually worked for KB Home, as a construction. I helped get one of their branches up computerized scheduling program for scheduling construction, home construction. I do not have a chart for DHI, but it looks pretty good. I could do a quick construction. Let's just go from here to there. From here, no, well, close to there.
I can do a couple more while you
No.
work on that tracker, just because I wanted
Go
to
ahead.
show
Go
Oscar
right
and
ahead.
SoFi before I run away. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, please do.
Running out of time here. Gotta run away. All right, so
I
I wanted to
know.
show Oscar here, on the monthly chart. It actually depicts what happened best on the monthly chart. It basically just got stuck under the baseline on the monthly chart for the past 3 months in a row. So it just could not break above. There was a big wick up top, but that was just like a liquidity grab. But it's still just not ready to break out just yet. So that is 1426. So we can see that it's maybe going to get stuck in there, and it might just continue consolidating. But the good news is the 50-month moving average right down here did form, and it did wick down below it last month or 2 months ago. So that is a big support zone. And also this 1225 is also looking like it's building a base. And also this is the leading span A of the Ichimoku cloud. So it looks like it has potential to basically try to stabilize in this zone. So I think it had a big breakout and now it did a back test that has potential to be your higher low right there. And I think the main focus is just on the high time frame, stay above 1225, and this can be a good accumulation zone for that. And SoFi, we can see that price did stay inside of the wedge formation here on the monthly chart, basically above the conversion line. That's bullish, right? It stayed above the 1259, so I'll be looking at that for support. And we can see that the resistance was 1369. So it's just in a little wedge formation trying to get more bullish. And this is a really healthy chart. Big breakout, also big back test, kind of identical to Oscar, how it back tested the 50-month moving average while maintaining an important fib. So this is really, really healthy development. So stay above 1259, and this can get through all this resistance above 1369 and above. All right, tracker, go ahead and take us out.
All right, here's the DHI DR Horton done up for you. Yeah, from where prices right now, I think it wants to go about 45% higher to 177.04 next. So extension back through 6. And if they just keep building out and growing the way they've been doing, it'll end up looking like this, where it goes to 500 maybe sometime in 2029, 2030. There you go. DHI. It's a great place to buy it right now because it's below the 11.4 fib extension still. Lots of meat on the bone. Like I said, 45% from here to 177.04. It's interesting though, on the weekly chart, it's really been in the doldrums for the institutional buyers. They haven't been going crazy on it. Let's look closer on the 8-hour chart. No, nothing. Like the institutions haven't been. Maybe they already have enough of it or something. They haven't been buying a lot of it lately. So anyway, there you go. Not a fast chart like I like. But not bad over the long period. Here's my coin chart because I saw someone asked, or two people asked for coin. Again, we're just oscillating here. I'm looking for the next target as 21. Gosh, maybe to 38226. You know, on the weekly chart, it really does look like it, kind of, but I don't know. It's just something to keep in mind that if Bitcoin does go down or something happens, some sort of weird catalyst sends coin lower, it might do that. But I really want to see it do. I really want to see it do 76432. Anyway, coins, it's crazy oscillating right now. I would stop out if it drops below 240, the bottom of this Darvis box right here. But from there, hopefully higher, somewhere between 5% and 53% higher for the next wave one. All right, that's all I got for you guys for now. Oh my gosh, time's done. Thanks,
Yeah.
Matt, so much for doing the show with us.
Yeah. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and thank you all.
All right. Take it easy, everybody, and we'll send. Yeah, maybe we haven't talked about the triumvirate yet with Kat. We will.
I think.
All right.
I think the blonde broker actually said she might be down to join us tomorrow too.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we'll see.
All right. Well, good luck out there, everybody.
Yes. Good
Bye,
luck,
Matt.
everybody. Good. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.